military forced to take shocking action against enemy aircraft off Alaska after what they spotted on board. Ever since President Trump did an airstrike on Syria, Russia and North Korea have been absolutely losing their minds. Threats of nuclear war and historic shows of force have been prevalent over the past month, as these two countries continue to rattle their sabers and spout off with threats of war. Now a disturbing report breaking from Fox News reveals that Russia has no intentions of backing down, as they continue to test President Trump's temperament as they try desperately to measure their penis against ours. Our military forces are on high alert after intercepting a formation of Russian Buhr bombers who entered our airspace via the Alaskan Air Defense Zone late Wednesday night, U.S. officials just confirmed to Fox News. Our Air Force immediately intercepted the bombers with several F-22 stealth fighter jets who just so happened to be patrolling the area, about 50 miles southwest of Chariot, Alaska. A spokesperson for NORAD told the media that our forces made the interception around at 9 p.m. ET, but disturbingly, the same thing happened again sometime on Thursday as well. While some might try and dismiss this as just routine activity, it is not. This is the first time that the U.S. Air Force has seen Russian Su-35 fighter jets escort Russian bomber planes near Alaska, as they entered international airspace. The Russians did however flex their muscles last month flying near Alaska over the course of 4 consecutive days, marking the first time since 2014. This latest show of force on behalf of the Russians comes just on the heels of President Trump's phone call with Vladimir Putin several days ago, where the White House revealed that their conversation was centered around the ongoing crisis in the Middle East and North Korea. This is extremely concerning considering that President Trump admitted that our relations with Russia at the moment is at an all-time low, with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson echoing those sentiments. It looks like we are definitely on the brink of World War III, and now the question becomes, is America ready? While we do have competent military leaders advising President Trump, Barack Hussein Obama completely gutted our military forces while in office, taking us back to pre-World War II capabilities. Compound that with the fact that U.S. Admiral Harry Harrison revealed several days ago that our military is running out of bombs after a series of continual airstrikes on ISIS over the past several months, and it is a huge cause for alarm. Critical munitions shortfalls are my top war-fighting concern, U.S. Admiral Harry Harrison stated in front of the Joint House Committee earlier this week. We must maintain our capability to operate in contested environments. Additionally, we must continue to expand cross-domain fires capabilities and focus on joint integration to strengthen deterrence and enable joint combined maneuver. Priorities include long-range and standoff strike weapons, anti-ship weapons, advanced air-to-air munitions, theater ballistic, cruise missile defense, torpedoes, naval mines, and a cluster munitions replacement. Building our military forces and capabilities up should no doubt be President Trump's #1 priority if the political atmosphere with Russia and North Korea does not improve. Here's the full story from Fox News. 2 Russian Buhr bombers, escorted for the first time by a pair of Su-35 flanker fighter jets, entered Alaska's air defense zone on Wednesday night, U.S. officials told Fox News. The Russian formation was intercepted by a pair of U.S. Air Force F-22 stealth fighter jets that were already flying a patrol about 50 miles southwest of Chariot, Alaska. A NORAD spokesperson told Fox News the intercept began at 9 p.m. ET on Wednesday, and a defense source said it also occurred into Thursday. It was the first time the U.S. Air Force has seen advanced Russian Su-35 fighter jets escort Russian Cold War air bombers near Alaska. The Russian fighter jets were unarmed and remained in international airspace, officials said. Late last month, Russian bombers flew near Alaska over 4 consecutive days for the first time since 2014. This week's latest episode comes one day after President Trump spoke over the phone with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The White House said the conversation focused on crises in the Middle East and North Korea, with no mention of recent Russian provocations. The conversation was described in a readout as a very good one. Trump in April said U.S. relations with Russia were at an all-time low, And Secretary of State Rex Tillerson also described the relationship between the countries as being at a low point. National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster was not as pessimistic, however, telling Fox News Sunday that "I don't think they have gotten either better or worse." Breaking, Jenner announces run for office after what Trump just did, "You won't believe what position." Although the newly christened Caitlyn Jenner supported and voted for President Donald Trump, she now has gotten her panties in a bunch over two of the main promises then-candidate Trump made during the 2016 presidential campaign. In fact, she has even gone as far as refusing President Trump's multiple golfing invitations because she is so outraged by our president keeping his promises. Which are the offending promises? The first one is the promise then-candidate Trump made to sign an executive order to stop forcing business, such as bakeries, to cater to same-sex weddings. In cases where the religious beliefs of the owners dictate its assent to take part in such an event. The second promise is to roll back former President Barack Hussein Obama's disgraceful LGBT restroom policies, where grown men are now allowed to legally enter the restroom with 10-year-old girls. In an interview she gave to the Commonwealth Club of San Francisco yesterday, she actually went as far as to say she would run for public office if it would help her LGBT community. The Mercury News reports. "How can I use that and that platform to try to make a difference?" Jenner asked. "My loyalties are not with Republican Party, my loyalties are not with Donald Trump. My loyalties lie with my community. I'd rather try to convince the Republicans Party to do a better job when it comes to equality for all and equality for the LGBT community than to try to fight the Democrats on lowering taxes and fewer regulations." She hardly spent time discussing her previous life with the Kardashians or as Olympic champion Bruce Jenner. But the Jenner name has been part of the pop culture landscape for 4 decades. It started in 1973 when a little-known decathlete arrived at San Jose City College in a Volkswagen Bug with a pole vault strapped to the roof, javelins sticking out the door. 3.5 years later, he left the Bay Area as the world's greatest athlete, having won the Olympic gold medal at the Montreal Games. The heartthrob decathlete then left the Olympic stage for Hollywood. Jenner drove race cars and flew planes. There were endorsement deals and small acting roles. There were marriages to Elvis Presley's former girlfriend and, in 1991, Kris Kardashian. The latter nuptial turned him into a reality TV personality portrayed as a henpecked husband. "That was pretty much me, yes," she said. "I was always around pretty strong women. I like strong women. I learned a lot from Kris. I never in my life felt who I was worthy. I had all these secrets, all these things inside. I didn't have confidence putting my voice forward. I had no problem playing that milquetoast." Jenner stepped onto a bigger stage 2 years ago when announcing she identified as a woman, thrusting her into the world of transgender politics at a time LGBT rights are at the forefront of a national conversation. Glamour magazine named Jenner Woman of the Year, while she also received the Arthur Ashe Courage Award during the 2015 ESPY Awards. "High on my priority list is trying to make a difference, trying to make this better for the next generation," Jenner told the packed audience at a Nob Hill hotel. An avowed conservative who strongly supports gun rights, Jenner was hopeful last summer with the Trump campaign's stance on LGBT rights. But, "He has surrounded himself with some bad people that are giving him bad advice," Jenner said. "He's the president, he's signing it, he's responsible." Then she took on Secretary of the Army Mark E. Green, who has criticized lawmakers' attempts to bar discrimination against LGBT people in workplaces and businesses. Green also said he believes being transgender is a disease. "I don't have a disease," Jenner said. "It is the Bible telling him to fight it. There is no one evil here. We got to weed them out." Jenner said Trump invited her to play golf after the inauguration, something she considered doing to make inroads for her causes. "Then I realized he's got a big ego and I don't think he wants to get beat by a 67-year-old trans woman," Jenner said. When asked if she would consider running for office, Jenner said some friends have suggested she try for the presidency. I was thinking of starting with the mayor of Malibu, the longtime resident of the LA Coastal Enclave said. I want to make it better politically for my community. Is it working from the outside, or working from the inside? I don't know. The answer to both of these is simple. A business has the right to refuse service to anyone for any reason at any time. The other is if you have a wee you use the boys' restroom, if you have a hoo you use the ladies' room. If you claim to have neither, you pee outside. Sounds very logical in a nation which has freedom, but during the dark days of President Obama's America, where the government took it upon itself to bully and drive businesses to ruin if they wouldn't cater to the LGBTQ community. Maybe it would be best for her to just disappear if she wants to help. I can't look at her without thinking of that gold medalist on the Wheaties box from when I was a kid. Where did my America go?